Hey, thanks for watching another one of our videos. We're going to make some ribs today in the Masterbuilt Smoker. So we're going to season them up with this Heaven Made Products Texas Best Rib Rub. We've got these Heaven Made products in our Armadillo Pepper store now. I haven't used this specific one. I've used 5 or 6 of their rubs, but this is going to be a new one for me. And then we're going to finish this with a Coca-Cola. I'm a Pepsi guy, so it's going to be a Pepsi Cola Glaze. And make sure you watch all this video today, because I'm going to give one of these away. That's right, I'm going to give one away. If you watch this whole video, you'll learn how you can have a chance to win this rub. Now, if you're new to making ribs, one of the things you want to do is get rid of this membrane across the back here. I've already edged up got under it with a little knife to get up the edge so you can see it there. Some folks will use a spoon to pull it off. Some folks will use the back of the knife. You can use a paper towel, just something to grip it with, right? And you know, it might take you more than one attempt to get the whole membrane off, but trust me, if you're new to doing ribs, you definitely want to get this membrane off before you cook them, okay? So I'm going to get this off, and as soon as I get the whole thing off, you can see I've still got a piece here. So, you know, everybody's got their own little tricks, and sometimes this thing will come right off for me, and other times it won't. But anyway, let me get this off here, and then we'll be right back. We've got our rib membrane off. You can see these are cut fairly nicely, right? I mean, if you want, you can come in here and trim a little of this fat off if you wanted. But I got to tell you, I'm not going to mess with it much. I think a lot of it will render off. So, you know, some of it won't. Depends how thick it is. But anyway, if you're a stickler for it, you can come in here and spend a little time trimming some of this fat off. But, you know, actually I kind of like the way these look. I'm just going to get this little piece here, and we're going to move over to the seasoning. Now, what I'm using today is this Heaven Made Products Texas Best Rib Rub, okay? Now these guys a month or two ago sent me out a few of their rubs, not this one, and we tried them in several recipes and fell in love with them. So the Heaven Made Products rubs, several of them are now available in the armadillopepper.com store. I've not tried this rib rub, okay? So this is my first time trying it. Anyway, I'm going to get both sides seasoned up here. Well, I should say, yes, I'm going to get both sides seasoned up, and then we'll move over to this Masterbuilt Smoker today, and I'll show you how we've got it set up and what kind of wood we'll be using. The wood I'm using today, I think it was one of our viewers, Kevin, asked the other day if I ever use maple. I love maple, especially with ribs. That's exactly what I've got here today, some maple chips that I've already loaded up the chute on the side about 30 minutes ago. I've got this Masterbuilt set at 225 degrees. Now, the Masterbuilt I have these days is the 30-inch model, so I had to cut these ribs in half, even diagonally. They won't fit in there without touching the sides of the smoker, and I just don't like it touching the sides. So I've cut the rack in half. We'll put it in here. It's going to take, 5 hours probably, maybe a little more. I'll check on it in 2 hours. It's been 2.5 hours. Let's just talk about what we've done. I started out with these maple wood chips at 225 degrees. At 1 hour, I added some more maple wood chips. And then at the 2 hour, I added some more maple wood chips. Now we're going to get these guys out of here and wrap them. See, they got a nice collar on them right there. So let me get some tongs, and we'll get them over here, and I'll show you how we're going to wrap these guys. You can see they're quite moist on top, right? Not a lot of bend yet, and not a lot of pullback from the bone. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, close these guys back up, put them in for another half hour, and then we'll see if they're ready to take out of this foil. So I'm going to get each of them back in here, and like I say, we'll let them go at least another 30 minutes. Now, first thing I'm going to do, put a little squeeze butter on the tops of these guys. If I can get this out, I'm going to put some squeeze butter on it. I like to use the Land O'Lakes but you know, use whatever you like to use, okay? So we got a little squeezed butter on there. And then I'm going to come in with some honey, all right? Just going to drizzle a little honey. Now some folks will even put some brown sugar on top of these guys. You could certainly do that. I think with the Coke, Pepsi that I'm going to use today, there'll be no need for that. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Both sets of ribs, or you know, it's one rack that I cut in two, as you saw. Okay, get her all folded up here. Now what I'm going to do, for a little bit liquid here, just going to pour in some Pepsi. Like I say, you can use Coke. Not too much, right? You just want to, so it'll steam. Probably not even 4 ounces, maybe 3 ounces. I don't know. Okay, so cook this up like so. Let's get this like so. And then I'm just going to seal this up. Okay. I'm going to do the other half a rack exactly the same way. And we're going to pick this back up over at the Masterbuilt. Yeah, there's no need to add any more wood chips from this point forward. Oh, and it looks like I've cracked this bag or didn't get a good seal, so I'm going to wrap this one in foil again, another layer. Okay. Didn't take too long. Now, we've gone 2.5 hours. I'm probably going to let these guys go another hour and a half, and then we'll check on them. These guys have been 2 hours in the foil total time. Let's get them out and have a look. Okay. Let's see if we got any bend in these guys. There's a little bit of bend. Still not a lot, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me look at these other ones. Obviously, you want to be careful. This foil is kind of hot. Well, you can really see the moisture in those guys. I hope you can see that. Got a great smell. You can see here it's starting to pull back from the bone, and let me show you here. See, we've got some pullback here. So now what we're going to do is get these back in the Masterbuilt. I'm going to leave them uncovered, and after about 30 minutes, we'll start saucing them. Okay, like I said, we're going to let them go about 30 minutes. And while this first 30 minutes is going on, I'll show you how we're going to make this sauce, okay? To make this cola sauce, I got a 12-ounce can, Pepsi here. And like I say, you can use Coke. We're Pepsi people here, all right? So, I got that 12-ounce can of Pepsi. I got my heat on high. Right here I've got a half a cup of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to come in here with 2 teaspoons of onion powder, okay? Going to come in here with a teaspoon of dried garlic. It wasn't quite full. Let me add just a little bit more there. All right. Got a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Going to come in here with a 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. All right. Now, I want a little spice with all this sweet, so I'm going to use this colon cleaner mustard-based hot sauce, okay? Now, if you don't want to use hot sauce, don't. Just use mustard. I'm going to put in here about 2 tablespoons, okay? So like I said, you can use regular old mustard, okay? We're going to come back in with some cracked black pepper, probably about a 1/2 teaspoon. And then finally what I've got here, you just need 2 cups of ketchup. What I've actually got, if you notice there's 2 collars here. I didn't have 2 full cups of ketchup. In the bottle I only had a cup. So I used a cup of ketchup and a cup of barbecue sauce. Again, you don't need to have barbecue sauce. You can just go with the ketchup. If you wanted, you could substitute barbecue sauce out for all the ketchup. It's totally up to you. But at least in this case, I've got a cup of ketchup and a cup of barbecue sauce. Okay. Now, I'm going to blend this in well and simmer this till it thickens up. You know, because of that apple cider vinegar and the Pepsi, you know, it's pretty thin. So I'll bring it up to a boil, and we'll probably simmer it, I'm going to guess, 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, just till it starts to get thickened up. And once it gets thickened up, we'll turn this heat off. And one final ingredient I almost forgot. We got about a tablespoon of Lee and Perrins. What's this here sauce? It's actually been closer to 10, maybe even 12 minutes. You can see it's starting to thicken up for us. I'm just going to continue to let it simmer on low, but as soon as that 30 minutes is up on the Masterbuilt, I'm going to use this and glaze those ribs. 30 minutes is up. So let's see, we did 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we've been 5 hours total. Now what we're going to do is come in and glaze them with that barbecue sauce we made, that Cola barbecue sauce. And generally when I do ribs, I only do the tops. I mean, if you want to do the bottoms, go right ahead. But I'm just going to glaze each one of these. Get back, superhero dog. Get back. Sorry about that, guys. And as soon as I get them glazed up, I'm going to put them back in this Masterbuilt. I'll let them go 15 minutes, check on them to see if I'm going to put another layer of glaze or if this is going to do it for me. Okay? All right, so let me get a little bit right there. Let me get this pushed back in. All right, stay with me. While those ribs are finishing, let me tell you how you can enter to win this rib rub from Heaven Made Products. All you got to do is leave a comment down in the comment section below this video. Tell us what you thought of the recipe. Tell us something you'd like for us to make. I don't really care. Just leave us a comment and you'll be entered for a chance to win this. What we'll do is take all the comments, put them in a random comment generator, and draw one and announce that winner in an upcoming video. If you're interested, the ingredients on this rub are granulated garlic, raw sugar, brown sugar, onions, smoky paprika, parsley, paprika, chili powder, black pepper, imported Louisiana cayenne pepper, thyme, cumin, nutmeg, sugar, cornstarch, and the list goes on and on. I'm getting tired. Leave us a comment. All right, 30 minutes is up. I did sauce them again after that first 15 minutes, and now I've got these ribs out and they're resting. Let me just let these guys cool down, like I say, about 10 minutes, and then we're going to come in and cut them and do a taste test. It's been about 10 minutes. Can't take it. Maybe a little bit less than 10 minutes. We're going to, I guess I better find a bone, right? There it is. We're going to cut a couple of these up. If I can quit cutting it in the bone, maybe I should turn them over. Maybe that would be smarter for somebody like me anyway. Okay. There's one. There's two. 3. I got some extra sauce here. I guess if I could cut them without hitting the bone, they'd cut way, way easier. All right? So let's get these up here. And let me get this camera zoomed in so you can have a look at them. All right? Just look at these ribs. They're beautiful. I hope you can see that. I'm going to eat this one so I don't have a glove on. All right? But there's just juice coming out of these guys. All right? Now, you might have noticed there's not going to be a very strong, if all, smoke ring. The Masterbuilt electric smoker is known to not produce smoke ring. You've got no charcoal in there. If you want to understand more of the details of why you don't get a smoke ring with the Masterbuilt, I'll put a link below. The website Amazing Ribs has actually produced a study about that. And as most of you know, smoke ring doesn't change the flavor. Oh yeah. It's got a nice bite to it. You know, these aren't crock pot fall off the bone ribs. They're not tough by any means. It's got that nice bite. Oh wow, I should slow down. You definitely get like a little spice from that paprika in that Heaven Made Products rib rub. And some of that spice might be coming from that mustard-based hot sauce, that colon cleaner that we used. If you're not a hot sauce person, don't worry. It is not hot. It's got a very mild spice, and that spice is at the end. The first thing I get when I take a bite of these is the sweetness and the flavor of that Pepsi, or if you're going to use Coke, the Coke. It's not strong. In fact, you'll actually taste the, you get the meat from the pork. And then as you chew, you get that very subtle, kind of sweet cola flavor. Followed, as I mentioned, by that paprika, that spice. They're tender. These are definitely some of the best ribs I've made in a while. Now, that barbecue sauce we made, there's plenty of it, and there's even more than this. You could have easily done 4 racks of ribs with that barbecue sauce recipe that we put together here. Hey, it's hot out here. It's Florida. It's about 2,000% humidity. I really thank you for watching another one of our videos. Hey, make sure you leave a comment for a chance to win that rub. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell. You'll be notified of all of our upcoming new videos.